Welcome to the Water and Waste Laboratories. I am Jonathan. Laboratory safety is very important in our laboratories, and I would like to remind you to take the following safety precautions. Firstly, please wear a laboratory coat to protect your skin and personal clothing. Secondly, please wear safety goggles and gloves while handling chemicals. Thirdly, please wear fully covered shoes to protect your feet. Fourthly, no eating or drinking is allowed in our laboratories. Please also read the safety guidelines before working in the laboratory. If you have any questions during the experiments, please do not hesitate to ask our technical staff. Thank you.
Next, we will use 70% alcohol to disinfect the workspace. We use a tissue paper to spread the alcohol over the work surfaces. This step is applied to prevent the contamination from the surfaces. And then we will withdraw 2 milliliter culture media using a pipetter into the petri dish. All these pipetters and petri dishes were sterilized. So here we are testing 3 types of water: tap water, settled water, and treated effluent. Of course, settled water is from primary clarifier. Treated effluent is from secondary clarifier. Okay, and as you can imagine, they contain different concentrations of E. coli. So here we started from treated effluent. We withdraw 10 milliliter treated effluent and diluted it by with 90 milliliter water. So that is 10 times dilution. And we do a series of suitable dilutions to get a proper number so that we can count. Now we withdraw 10 milliliter from the diluted sample to another 90 milliliter water. And all the DI water were sterilized. Okay, so here it's another 10 times dilution. Sometimes we do 1 to 100 dilution as well. To do that, we withdraw 1 milliliter sample solution and put into 99 milliliter pure water. So that is 100 times dilution. So here we have to use the pipetter for only once because it may carry some E. coli and then contaminate your next sample. (10 milliliter diluted sample solution). (90 milliliter pure water). You can see that 10 milliliter sample solution has been withdrawn from the previous sample solution, so there is only 90 milliliter sample solution left. Only the most diluted one has 100 milliliter solution. And when you calculate the total E. coli number concentration, you have to pay attention to that, whether it is from 90 milliliter sample solution or it is from 100 milliliter solution. This is our most diluted sample, which has 100 milliliter solution. After we prepared sample solutions at different dilutions, we do membrane filtration to connect E. coli in these solutions. At the very beginning, we have to do a blank as a control. Similarly, we use 100 milliliter sterilized DI water as a control. This is a membrane filter for our filtration purpose. And the vacuum filtration setup was sterilized. It has a checker on one side, and we put that side up front. The membrane filter has a pore size of 450 nanometer, which is much smaller than the E. coli size. The E. coli has a size of micrometer scale. The negative pressure drives the water through the membrane filter, and E. coli gets retained on the membrane filter. We now immerse the membrane filter in the cultural media in a petri dish. You have to clearly mark your sample number. Now we go with another sample solution. We start from the most diluted one up to the most concentrated sample. Because we are using the same vacuum filtration setup, so we want to avoid cross-contamination from each sample solution. Now we move to the second most diluted sample solution. Now we are ready to count the E. coli colony numbers on the membrane filter. We call it CFU, colony forming units. You see these yellow colonies. Pay attention to the dilution factor for each Petri dish.